Nobody likes to read a document and come across spelling errors, so it's good to know that here in Google Docs, when you create a new word processing document, you've got spell checking functionality built right in. So we're going to look at the spell checking functionality here in Google Docs. Keep in mind that I'm on a Macintosh computer. The Mac applications share a dictionary of their own, so don't be confused if you're on a Windows PC and you start to see things on my screen that you don't see on yours. I'll explain those as we come across them. First thing we need to do though is let's create a new document. I'm going to go up to the new button and select document right there. Creates a new document, and we're going to start typing in some words, and we'll make some spelling errors, some not so wrong but definitely considered errors according to the spell checking functionality. For example, proper names. I'm going to type in a fictional company name right here. I'm going to type in Simple Text Inc. And when I hit return or enter a couple of times, I leave a blank line. You'll notice here on the Mac, I've got red dotted underlines appearing under both these words. If you're on a Windows PC, they might seem fine to you. Well, we're not actually going to use the Macintosh built-in spell checking functionality. We're going to use the Google Docs functionality. You'll notice that if I go up to a word that has a red dotted underline here on the Mac and right-click on it, I get a pop-up menu that allows me to select replacements, ignore the spelling error, learn by adding it to the dictionary. I can use Spotlight in Google, look it up in the dictionary, and then I've got some spelling and grammar functions down here as well. If you're on a PC and you right-click on the word, probably not much happening except for maybe cut and copy or paste, for example. So instead of using my built-in dictionary here in the Mac, I'm going to use Google Docs because when I go to any computer, anywhere around the world, connected to the internet, I want to be able to access the document and know that the spelling is correct no matter where I am. Here I go. Up to the top right corner, you'll notice we've got a spell checking button right here on the toolbar, very last button. But before we do that, let's go to the Tools menu. Here you'll see check spelling, the exact same thing right at the top of the menu. We also have some options down below though. For example, I can choose my language before I start checking the spelling and it will use that language. Auto is likely selected for you by default. But let's say you know it's English and it's a specific type of English. We've got US or UK type English. I'm going to choose English US. Lots of other languages in there as well. If you're creating documents using any of those languages, remember to switch over to that before you check spelling. Now I'm going to check the spelling. I could go back to the Tools menu right here at the top, or simply go to the Check Spelling button right here on the toolbar. So I'm going to give it a click. It appears as though it's selected or pressed in now. And right away, the word Simple Text, which is my company name, is now highlighted in yellow. It's not using the red dotted underline we're used to seeing. I don't need to right-click on it. Just a regular click on a highlighted word when you're checking spelling will give you some options. In this case, 2 replacement options, or because this is a proper name, I might want to add it to the dictionary. Now it's being added to my Google Docs dictionary, not my Mac dictionary in this case. That's what I want. So I'm going to click Add to Dictionary, and it's no longer highlighted. If I wanted to continue checking spelling, when I go up to the Tools menu, check it out. I can recheck spelling now. Even though I know there are no further errors, clicking Recheck Spelling shows no highlighted words. So I'm ready to continue. So let's come down here and start typing. I just click below Simple Text, and I'm going to type in if you received, and I'm going to misspell received. I'm going to ignore that I before E except after C rule. And hit enter a couple of times. In this case, because I'm on a Mac, I know that there's a spelling error. It's highlighted for me. But if I want to recheck spelling at this point, I can go up to Tools, down to Recheck Spelling. Spelling button is still pressed in, so that's why Recheck Spelling appears there. And there's the word received. So in this case, when I click on it, I see a number of possible replacement options. Or I could add this word to the dictionary as well, which I don't want to do because it is misspelled. It should be this one here at the top. So when I click on it, you can see it's fixed up for me. And there are no other highlighted words. So I continue creating my document, rechecking spelling along the way. When I'm done, I can either click this button to turn the spelling off or go up to Tools and choose Done Spelling from here. And that's it. So it's good to know that the check spelling functionality is built right into Google Docs. That means that customizing your dictionary over time as you add words, and it's the same dictionary you'll be accessing no matter what computer you're on as long as you're connected to the internet. Does this mean we don't need to proofread our documents anymore? Not really. You may be using correctly spelled words, but they may be the wrong words. There's 3 different ways to spell the word to, for example, or there. So keep in mind you still need to proofread your documents before you share them or print them or send them out to other people. But the spell checking functionality will find those typos and spelling errors that maybe you might miss when you are proofreading.